Consistency over everything. Self-awareness is a must. And you always gotta keep it real. These are the keys. This is the Continual Growth Podcast. And we're gonna help you kill every day and own your fucking life. This is episode 23. I'm Bwanka. I'm joined by Zee. Zee, what's good, man?
Yes. I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. How you feeling?
Yo, I'm feeling incredible. You know, about to switch it up a little bit.
I like that new intro.
It's a little hot, man. Bring a little more fire.
I like that. You're letting people know why the fuck we're doing this.
Hell yeah.
Like, this isn't just a hobby that we're doing just for fun.
No.
You know, we gotta let them know the whole point of this is to help them get that feeling that we have. That feeling that we can kill every day and own our fucking lives.
Let's go.
I love that. Okay, cool. What are we getting into today, man?
Today is all about life's ups and downs.
Because
everybody goes through ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
And we just want to show them we've gone through ups and downs. Mm-hmm. And we want to show them how we handle our ups and downs.
Nice.
And see if they can relate to us.
Okay, I like that. Let me kind of take the mic on this one because I'm right now coming out of a massive down.
Okay.
And I didn't tell you about it. I didn't tell the guys about it. I didn't tell the team. But it was like 3 or 4 days where I was just like mad fucking down. Like I was just down. Like I didn't.
This podcast was supposed to happen yesterday.
Right.
You didn't make it yesterday.
Right. And I told you, I'm like, bro, I can't come in today. Like I'm not there. Right. And what ended up happening, it was like, we all have our thoughts and they take us some places sometimes. And I'm a big person. I'm a big believer in saying, yo, your brain's asshole. It will play games on you. It will take you down a road sometimes that it's not supposed to take you down. And it took me down that road. And I'm telling myself, yo, bro, your brain is fucking with you. These thoughts aren't real. The things you're thinking aren't real. And it was mad negative, super like all the things that we say to avoid, like fear, uncertainty, doubt. I was looking for things to validate the way I was feeling. I was finding reasons to feel afraid. I was finding reasons to feel doubt. I was finding reasons to feel the uncertainty, and what that was doing is it was spiraling.
Yeah.
And one thing for me I've been kind of open about is like my sleep patterns are sometimes like they've fucked me up in the past.
Yeah.
And what happened for me is once I learned that if I develop the right habits, I can get a grasp of my sleep.
Yeah.
It helped me a lot. And what ended up happening once my thoughts started spiraling, and this happened, I felt it coming like Thursday evening.
Okay, so you're saying like basically that negative voice in the back of your head, it's getting to you.
Oh yeah.
And the positive voice is not able to overpower it.
Not at all.
Okay.
And you know me, man. Like I'm all about positivity. I'm all about mindset. I'm all about knowing that you got to focus on what you do. Fuck what you think.
Yeah.
And I'm here. It's Friday, and like I was going through this process of telling myself to get out of it, and I couldn't, man. Like I couldn't do it. Right. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And then I'm going into Friday evening, and then especially at night when you're by yourself, and everyone's asleep and the world's kind of shutting down.
It's just you and your thoughts.
And if you aren't in the right mindset to be able to battle your thoughts will win. And for me, what ended up happening, I started spiraling. I didn't fucking sleep at all Friday night. I didn't really sleep Saturday in the day.
Thinking the whole
time. I'm just in my head, man, and I'm trying to get myself out of it. And I remember when we were coming to do this podcast, you were asking me like, "What should we do it on?" And I'm like, "Bro, let's do a podcast on life's ups and downs, because life has a way of making sure that everybody gets punched in the fucking mouth."
Hell yeah!
And what ended up happening for me is it happened, and I was aware of it. I was ready. I had the mindset to go through it, and I still got caught up in the old habits that I used to have, where I used to spiral with these thoughts, and suddenly you start believing these negative thoughts, and then you start creating a narrative to support them. You start telling yourself stories, and you start, it's bad, man. And then what ended up happening for me is Sunday, I kind of was like, okay, bro, this is what you do. This is what you do. You know how to pull other people out of this. Practice what you preach. Go back to the basics, right? And the whole time, mind you, I was meditating every day still.
Yeah.
But they weren't good sessions. You know what I'm saying? Like I was trying my hardest, but
You're still thinking?
I was still, and it was crazy because I know that sometimes our mind wanders when we meditate. But for me, it was like, I was just like, the session, I couldn't wait for it to be over because I was so in my head. And I still worked out. I still read my goals. I still did the things that I'm supposed to do to set myself up to have an amazing day.
You're still doing things to move you forward.
Still trying to move forward.
Okay.
But I couldn't get out of my head, right? And then Sunday I sat down and I was like, okay, cool. You know what's wrong right now? My thoughts are so focused on the future. That's usually where we get fucked up, right? And I sat down and it dawned on me that my thoughts were all stuck on the future. And in order for me to come back to right now, I need to find things to be grateful for. I need to come back to gratitude. I need to find like that sense of what it is to be a human, right? And for me, once I started finding things to be grateful for, I was like, wow, I'm grateful that I'm breathing. Yo, I'm breathing. I'm fucking thinking about these dumb thoughts about the future when right now I'm breathing and I don't even have to think about it. I don't have to even worry. Like never in my brain, never in anyone's brain do we say, all right, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. It's just fucking happening. What an incredible gift.
Hell yeah.
You know, and then I started building off that. So I started finding a few more things to be grateful for. And what that did is that pulled me out of that down.
So the gratitude got you rolling and started getting that positive little voice to start overpowering the negative.
Yeah,
voice.
Man. Because when you're in those downs, man, you tell yourself horrible things that aren't true. Like you start like for me, and I'll be honest, like I was like, yo, nobody wants to listen to you. Nobody cares what you have to say. Who the fuck are you? Like all these dumb questions that you can't even answer, right? And then I'm like, okay, let's come back to a place of gratitude. And once I built some things to be grateful for, I'm like, yo, there's people that are hitting you up to come talk at their schools.
Yeah.
There's people that are hitting you up to come talk on their podcasts. People do love listening to you.
Yeah.
Those people, focus on them. Yes. Focus on what, and I just started, like I was grateful for my girlfriend, Capo, my condo, and I just found more things to be grateful for. And I just was like, wow, okay, the last 3 days, holy shit. Like, I'm telling you, man, like, for a long time in my life, that cycle that was 3 days, that used to last months.
And you snapped it with gratitude.
Snapped it with gratitude.
Because, gratitude is the key. I used to not believe it at all.
Yeah.
And then I started trying to practice gratitude a little bit. And so for that one time of the day, I would feel good. But then I switched to now I carry a rock in my pocket.
Amazing.
I call it the gratitude rock.
Nice.
And so anytime my hand touches this rock, if I put my hand in my pocket or like on my pocket, it reminds me, okay, you have to be grateful for something.
I love that.
Like right now, I'm grateful I just heard that story because it reminds me like when you're grateful, that's gonna help you start moving forward and get you spiraling in the right direction.
Yeah, because and I love that. I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna find
it works, man.
A rock or something to put in my pocket. Because to be honest with you, if I had more prompts to be grateful throughout the day, the negative cycle, the negative spiral that starts, you can catch that early.
Yep.
You don't go into this fucking depths of like solitude and anger and pain and sadness. You don't go that deep.
Yeah, you feel better all day because you're constantly thinking of like, what is good about my life? What am I enjoying in my life? Instead of that negative voice thinking about like, yo, what's bad in my life? Because you can always find bad things and you can always find good things. And whichever one wins that battle, that's how you're going to feel.
Yeah, man. And I was listening to Tony Robbins a lot this weekend. Like whenever I get into those states of mind where I'm like really in the negative, I go to the OG. Like to me, Tony Robbins is the OG.
He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
You know what I mean?
Greatest of all time. So I'm like, all right, let me listen to some Tony Robbins on getting yourself out of these type of situations. And he talks about in those situations, what a lot of people focus on is lost, less, or never. So what they'll do is they will focus on what they've lost in their life.
Like in the past?
Yeah. So they'll look at the past and they'll say, I've lost this, I've lost that. So therefore, I can never be happy.
Yeah.
Right? Or if I had less of this or less of that, I would be happy. And there would be things that you can't change. Right? Or I'm never going to accomplish this. Or I'm never going to change my situation. And those three things, the end result of all of them is sadness, pain, suffering. Nothing good comes out of speaking those words when you're in a negative mind state, right? And what I noticed is in that situation, I was telling myself like, I can't, I'm never going to.
All the negatives.
All the negatives, shit. Right? And what gratitude helped me do was like, wow, like life is beautiful. Like I found things to find beauty in life. And when you see those things, you start to appreciate what life really is.
Yeah.
You know, life isn't what it's going to be. Life is what it is right now. And the way that you can appreciate what life is right now is by getting in tune with what it is, by practicing gratitude. And what I want our listeners to hear from this message, sometimes we get the messages from people being like, you guys are superheroes. You have incredible habits. I wish I was motivated as you are. And I want people to know, yo, the ups and the downs, they fucking come for everyone. Everyone. I don't care who you are. The ups will take you to highs that you've never seen before, and the lows will take you to lows you've never felt before. But you got to come back to that middle ground.
Yeah.
And sometimes what the way to do that is through gratitude. Even when things are really good, be grateful. When things are really bad, be grateful. And come back to that middle ground where you're just appreciating how beautiful life is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sick. Okay, so like for me, man, I remember on the rigs.
Oh my God. Like, bro, I remember the times when you were on the rigs.
When I first got to the rigs, I got dominated.
Yeah.
Like, I was getting thrown around, like literally getting thrown around, because there's a lot of heavy equipment, and if you don't know how to like move the equipment properly, you're just getting thrown all over the place.
And to give the listener a little bit of context, when you say rigs, you mean the oil rigs.
Yeah, the oil rigs in Alberta and BC, manual labor, just it's by far the hardest job I've ever done.
Isn't it one of the top 5 dangerous jobs in the world?
Yeah, top 10 most dangerous jobs in the world.
Jeez.
But I remember when I first got there how hard it was. And I got tested. I remember I got tested. I was holding something and like you can't let go. If you let go, like you're probably gonna get fired. And it started going the way I didn't want to go.
Oh shit.
And I'm holding on to it. I fall down. I'm in the mud, getting pulled by this thing in the mud. But somehow I figured out a way to stop and to stand up and keep on holding on to this thing. Because, I'm not trying to get fired.
Right.
This is my job. I've seen people get fired.
On the spot.
Right. So there's challenges like that where it's like, and you can't change after. You feel covered in mud and you have to keep doing whatever job it is that you're doing. And I can always go back to like, remember how hard shit used to be.
I like that.
You know what I mean? So it's really easy for me to be grateful now because, I used to have to work 12 hours outside every single damn day. Rain, sun, like doesn't matter.
Extreme cold.
Extreme
like, this is northern
cold,
Alberta.
Extreme hot. Like, it doesn't matter. You're outside. You get hurt all the time, but you just keep moving. I remember, one time my goal was to not have any bruises. That's how much you get hurt.
Jeez.
Like, I said, I just want to go a week with no bruises.
Damn.
Yeah. But anyways, so now I'm at the point where it's like, if I get hit with a challenge, I can remember all the challenges that I've been through. So I can know like, I can overcome it because look at all the things that I've overcome in the past. And for you, what you're going to be able to do too is like, you're going to remember this week what happened and how you were going through that for the 3 days.
Right.
And you're going to say like, when it starts next time, when you realize that it starts, when you're self-aware of it, you're going to say like, damn, I got to do the same thing that I did last time. I'm going to get through this the same way that I got through it last time.
Right.
And that's continual growth.
I love that.
You learn and you use it next time. Next time will last way shorter.
Yeah, man. It's kind of like knowing that you've been able to get through tough shit in the past. You're going to get through tough shit in your present.
Yes.
And definitely the tough shit that comes in the future because you've gone through it. That's like the beauty of that story to me, honestly, is that like in life, you're gonna come up, you're gonna face challenges, you're gonna face obstacles, and whatever they are, they could be really, really small, they could be huge, right? If you believe that there's a way to get through it, you'll find a way. And to know that you've gone through it in the past, the mud, metaphorically and actually in reality. You've gone through the mud, and if you know that you've done it in the past, by all means, you can do it again.
Yep.
Definitely.
And every single time you go through something, all it's doing is, like, it seems terrible at the time. It's the exact same thing as working out. Working out, it seems terrible at the time. It hurts. Your muscles feel weak. But from that, you get stronger.
Yeah.
And that's the exact same as this. Like, you just keep getting stronger. And every obstacle that comes, it's either going to feel way easier or it's going to help you get way stronger.
It's, you know what it sounds like? The more we kind of talk about this kind of stuff, the more it comes down to, and we talk about this all the time, it's confidence, right? And that confidence really is just a sense of belief. You're believing that you're capable of achieving an outcome, right? And if the outcome is like some magnificent goal, or if it's just to get out of bed that day, right? But if you have the belief that it's possible, and that belief is based on, you know what, I've done this already. Yeah. I've been here before. That sense of confidence comes from a credibility. And the more we kind of focus on what we're doing in those situations, and we realize that I did this to overcome that in the past, I did this to overcome another situation, it's like all those things are just more and more credibility, more and more confidence, which to me, and we've talked about this before, equals belief. And belief is powerful, man. You can overcome anything when you believe that it's possible. You know what I mean? And
if you need more help believing, you need one of these wristbands. Yeah. We got Believe all over it. It comes with every product that we sell.
That's right. All right, it's important.
So let's give the people some tips.
Okay, cool.
All right, tip number 1, you're gonna fail.
I love that that's a tip.
Yo, no matter what, anything, if you're trying to become better at something, if you're trying to learn something new, no matter what, you're gonna fail. And once you accept that, it becomes easier to let me go fail at it. And you get better after that. When you fail again, you become better. You start learning from every single time that you failed. And eventually you're at the point where you're like, this is easy work.
It's true. And what's beautiful about that, to tie into this episode, is that when you know you're going to fail, when you are feeling mad confident and you feel like you tackle the world, in those moments, know that you're going to fail. When life's punching you in the mouth and you're feeling down and out and sad or depressed, just know that you still are going to fail.
Yeah.
Right? And the thing about knowing that you're going to fail, it becomes part of the experience. It becomes it's just another challenge.
Yep.
This failure is just another challenge, and I'm going to overcome this failure. It's going to get better. It's going to improve. And that is a realization that you have to have before you start anything. You will fucking suck at the beginning.
Hell yeah.
Know that. Accept it. You'll be like, you know what? I am going to fucking suck at this. And it's okay. Because what other people think doesn't fucking matter. This is about me. I'm starting this for me. For whatever it is, you're doing it for you.
And eventually you're going to get to that point where it's like, this is easy work. And the people that are laughing at you probably can't do it.
It's true.
Because if they could do it, they had to go through all those steps to get there.
And they would know how fucking hard it is, and they wouldn't be laughing.
Exactly.
If anything, they'd be clapping for you. They'd be like, yes, go, keep going. You can do this. Keep going.
Yeah. So one day you get to that point where it's like, man, this is easy work, yo. You guys ain't laughing no more.
I love that.
Sick.
Okay, cool.
So what's tip number 2?
Tip number 2, and this is something that honestly, it helped me over the last 3 or 4 days. Focus on what you do. Just always come back to what you do. When you're feeling really down like I was, it's really easy to sit there and just be like, fuck, man, life sucks. I'm not doing shit. Let me grab this bag of popcorn and let me watch something on Netflix and just get distracted for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to do that, especially in this era of human history, right?
Yeah.
It's not like 100 years ago where you had to, if you didn't go to work, you're fucked. If you didn't go and get the means to feed your family, you're fucked, right? But now we have Netflix and it's $7 and I can watch whatever the fuck I want, whatever the fuck I want for as long as I want. And it costs $7, right? So to me, knowing that what you do is what counts. When you're up and things are going really well, or when you're down and things seem like they're fucking falling apart, focus on what you do. And what you do has to always be built off of your goals. And to me, they all tie into each other, right? I knew in those situations where I was really doubting myself this weekend and really having this just a really shitty fucking weekend. You know what I mean? I just came back to my goals. All right. I wrote these goals when I was in a way better mind state. So I can get back to that, right? And these goals are intended for me to have the type of life that I want.
Yeah.
And I have a plan to achieve these goals. That plan requires me to do X, Y, Z. I'm going to go do X, Y, Z. How I'm feeling right now doesn't matter. It doesn't. right? If I'm feeling fantastic, I still got to do my shit. If I'm feeling like life's fucked up and everything's falling apart, I still got to do my shit. So at the end of the day, focus on what you do, because what you do is how you move forward. No thought has ever moved anyone forward. No idea has ever done that.
It's all about that action.
It's always about that action. So the tip number 2 for the people would be focus on what you do.
Sick. All right. Tip number 3, you know what's our favorite tip? Trust the process.
Yes, man.
We always got to bring it back to trust the process. That's what we've been talking about the whole time. You're going to try, you're going to fail, but always remember, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. And as you keep failing, you keep going through those things, you're learning, you're getting better. Always trust the process.
Straight up. And honestly, like the process, like if you don't trust the process that you've built to arrive at your outcome, you're not going to get there, first of all. But more importantly, when the ups come, which they will, and when the downs happen, which they will, if you're entirely focused on the process and the shit that you need to do to make sure that you're not just saying that you trust the process, but doing the work that proves that you trust the process, you will get there.
Hell yeah.
You will get there.
Guaranteed.
And don't let the ups trick you into thinking that you can be cocky and start chilling.
Yeah.
And don't let the downs let you believe that you're not able, that you're not capable. Don't let that shit fuck with you. Just come back to the process, come back to the work that needs to get done, do that, know that it's going to work out, and just keep plugging away.
And stay consistent.
Fuck yeah, man. And don't be like, oh, I did it for a month. I did it for what? Come on.
You got to keep working. Keep working until it starts working.
Like, bro, show me something that's truly amazing in life that got built overnight. It doesn't exist. Like, we watch, I always love to talk about basketball, right? Because there's a process involved, right? But we love to look at these superstars perform on a nightly basis, but we don't realize that they've been doing this for fucking years, practicing. When you were fucking eating popcorn, they were in the gym working out. Yeah. When you were with your family, having a great time at the cookout, they were in the gym putting in work. So the success that we see people experience when the camera's on, there's a lot that happens outside of that. That is the process. They've got trust in it. That's why they're succeeding.
Hell yeah.
And if we want to replicate that in our lives, we need to follow what we're saying. You know what I mean? Cool.
Yeah, I like that episode.
This was a good one. I like this one. I like that I appreciate the opportunity to kind of talk about the downs sometimes, because I think oftentimes with our podcast and with a lot of these podcasts in this space, they always focus on so much on the positivity, on the possibilities, that you can do anything. And while all of that's true, I love that we get to show people that, shit gets hard sometimes. Shit gets fucking difficult. Life will 100% without a doubt punch you in the fucking mouth.
Yeah.
And if you know that it's going to happen and you have a plan in place to tackle it, you'll get through it. Emotions don't last. Like, think of the happiest you ever were at your life. You aren't there now. You've come back down to a normal state. And the lowest you've ever felt, where you were like completely down about life, that didn't last either. Like, it's cyclical, right? Like, it comes and goes. And if you just come back to knowing that there's a process involved, there's work that needs to get done, focus on doing that. Your emotions, however they are at that moment, don't really matter. What you're thinking at that moment, truthfully, we've proved it, usually never matters. Always comes down to what you do. And I'm hoping that our listeners understand that that's what this is all about at the end of the day. Like we always say, it's about the action. You know what I mean? Cool. So, guys, thank you for tuning in to episode 23. We honestly appreciate the opportunity to bring you guys content that we think is going to help you guys kill every day and own your fucking life. Because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, we're doing it. We're benefiting from it. I pulled myself out of a low through what we're doing.
Hell yeah.
It's possible. And I honestly believe that anybody can do it. That's why I love that we do this. And it would mean a lot to us if you would bring people to the podcast. And the way that you do that is by A, subscribing to the podcast and leaving us a review, because that's how these platforms broadcast the podcast to a broader audience. But also, this one to me is more important. We're all going through this, especially our generation. We're going through this stage in life where we have so many questions and so much feeling of kind of being lost, of not knowing what the fuck to do. it comes down to your habits. Life has always been about your habits.
Yeah.
And if we can get more people who are currently listening to the podcast to bring their family and friends and their network of people into the continual growth community, we are all developing, we are all making a commitment to improve the habits in our lives. We are all going to improve. We're all going to live an incredible life, and we're all going to kill every day and own our fucking lives. So with that, like I always love to do, kill every day and own your fucking life.
Bless up.